Bruce Lee once said, mistakes are forgivable if one has the courage to admit them. And most average people out there, they do not admit their mistakes. And this is what separates the winners from the losers. Winners, smart people, successful people, they do not repeat something that is a mistake. They do not repeat it twice. And that's why in today's video Insider, I'm going to share with you the 5 things you should not repeat in your life if you want to be more successful. Especially the final 2. Make sure to pay close attention, because this may be the very thing that brings you new opportunities and new results. As after all, if you change nothing, nothing changes. Without further ado, let's go straight onto the first, which is ego. Now, specifically what I'm talking about is ego in terms of learning. I'm sure you've heard of the quote that goes on the lines of, to know the road ahead, ask those that's coming back. The problem is there are so many people out there who want more results. They're asking in life, how can I get these results? The moment that help arises and they begin to listen to the person who's walked the path, who've obviously got more results than you, they say, oh, but I didn't believe in it. I don't think it works. Oh, but I don't think I should listen. And no wonder they don't get results. This is where I used to trip myself up. I remember even, for example, when I was starting in the dating, in regards to learning how to date, I had coaches helping me. And whenever they began to give me advice, I just basically said, oh, but I think I've tried that. And the biggest paradigm shift I had in regards to this was when I began to hang around with the world's 1%. And when I went to these expensive events, I remember I used to get the VIP tickets and sit at the front row. And it's crazy because when the speaker was on the stage revealing all these online business strategies, I would just kind of sit there with my arms crossed back in the days and think, oh yeah, I think I know that. And then what was weird is when I began to look around, I saw all of these incredibly successful people around me who were sat in VIP also, who obviously were doing better than me in terms of their business, and they were taking so much notes. And I remember during break, I actually asked one of them, why are you taking so much notes? You probably know this stuff. And he said, Tim, because when it comes to success, you've got to be the most humble, hungry student in the room. He said, Tim, I act like I don't know anything, because that way my mind is open to allowing this knowledge to sink in even deeper. Because what you know doesn't mean anything. Knowledge is not power. It's application of knowledge that's power. And that advice has always stuck around with me. If you approach learning with ego, when people are giving you advice, and by advice, by the way, there's a big difference between advice and opinion. Opinion comes from everybody around you who hasn't got results. Advice comes from mentors. Advice comes from people who've gone out there and done that. Whenever you find yourself ignoring somebody's advice, question yourself. Because successful people, they listen. They listen to advice. They do not allow their ego to say, oh, I think I already know that. And that is the big, big difference between winners and losers. That's the first thing you should never repeat twice. The second is being a hamster. Successful people, they may have tried it once, being a hamster, but they don't try again. What do I mean by hamster? Well, most people, they know what doesn't work in their life. And yet they keep on doing it over and over again. What did Einstein say? He said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. You know what doesn't work in your life. You know what keeps you lazy. You know what makes you procrastinate. You know what's not good in terms of your health. And yet people run on autopilot because we're habitual creatures, and they never become conscious of where their life is heading. And this is why they keep on repeating the things that doesn't work. Don't be the hamster on a wheel. Get off the freaking wheel. You got to change something, otherwise nothing will change around you. You got to make that click today and commit to something. That's the key. That's the second thing. The third thing is playing the role of a victim. And this, for me, when I'm speaking on stages all across the globe and sharing my advice of what I learned from almost a decade, or I should say over a decade now, losing count, over a decade I've spent involved with huge online businesses as well as mastering my psychology. I find there are some students in the room who say, Tim, they put their hands up and they say, Tim, that sounds really good, but I don't think it'll work. Oh, you don't understand. This is a different country. Oh, Tim, but my upbringing. The reason why most people didn't get results is because they're playing a victim of their circumstances. Successful people do not play the victim. They don't blame their team if their company doesn't get results for that quarter. They don't blame their upbringing. They don't blame others. They blame themselves. And that shows a true testament of your emotional intelligence right now. It shows a true testament of your character, of who you really are. Because if you have a tendency to blame your government, blame everybody apart from yourselves, well, that shows exactly where you're heading, which isn't far. And by the way, I used to be guilty of this as well, because I wasn't brought up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't brought up with the most pleasant upbringing. And for a long time, I allowed this to be the excuse in regards to why I created harm for people when I was younger. But then one day, a champion within me woke up and I took control. Because I said to myself, you know what? If life is going to happen, it has to happen by me. I can't wait for things to get better because I have to get better first. That is the distinguishment that you got to make. Stop being a victim. Don't blame others. Do not complain. Stop being a victim every single day. And you notice a huge change when you begin to make this shift. Become the champion, not the victim. The fourth thing you should never repeat, which is no metrics. What gets measured gets accomplished. It's really simple as that. You do not see champion Olympians stood on a 100-meter track with their coach. You don't see them just running, and at the end, once they cross the finish line, you don't see them just saying, oh yeah, I felt really good, coach. Should we do another session today or tomorrow maybe, and I'll just see how I feel? No, you see the coach saying exactly what his time was. You see the coach measuring specific milliseconds. You see the coach giving him specific advice that's measurable. You got to know what are your vital metrics every single day. You got to become obsessed with numbers. Because if you aren't measuring your progress and you're wishfully hoping that you're just growing in terms of personal development, you're just wishing that you grow in terms of your business, well, that is what firstly makes business goes bust. When you're not measuring all of the outgoes, incoming, and so forth. You got to become obsessed. Think about the 3 vital metrics in all different pillars of your life. Health, for example, in regards to your psychology, in regards to your business, whatever it may be, measure every single day, and that way you can make a conscious control and a decision in regards to what you got to change to increase your vital metrics every single day. Become obsessed over it and ask yourself also, what do you want the metrics to be by the end of the year? It has to be a quantifiable number that you measure every single day. Become obsessed with this. You will not find a single billionaire or a millionaire who's not obsessed with measuring vital metrics in their company, as well as in regards to their personal development. The last one is dabbling. And this is where the average people, they've mastered dabbling. This is a pattern they run. They try one thing and they say, oh, it doesn't work. They normally are a victim. They say, oh, I think it was a tutor. This stuff doesn't work. And then they quit. They try another thing and they say, oh, it doesn't work. They try other things. They keep on trying everything and they become the jack of all trades, master of none. You look at anybody who's uber successful and you will see how they've got so much utter commitment and obsession in regards to their craft. You don't see Elon Musk taking selfies in his kitchen trying to master becoming a chef. No, you see him trying to master becoming the best entrepreneur that he can be. What is your one thing? What's the thing that you want to be world class at? Because you cannot become a master if you dabble. You cannot master something if you just chuck your focus everywhere. Hone in with laser pinpoint accuracy in regards to what you want to do, and every single day you commit to mastery. That is the thing that you got to get rid of. Stop dabbling in your life. Commit every single day. Yes, it's hard, but masters get rewarded. It's simple as that. You look up anyone that you look up to and you realize that they've mastered their craft. Become one of those people. These are the 5 things successful and smart people never repeat again. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you have, be sure to let me know what's been your biggest insight, biggest takeaway, biggest action point today that you're going to do whatever it takes to turn into reality. Like this video if you like this video, and share this video with a friend and loved one who got to hear this message, because hopefully it will also help them as well. And that's what life's all about at the end of the day. As always, Insider, follow your heart, my friend, and take action and go live the life you're truly born to live. I'll see you on the next video soon. Take care.